First of all, this is really beautiful. Welcome to Property Focus.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Tell us about yourself and what you do.
My name is Panesar. I am the current CEO of Panesar Kenya Limited. It's a three-generation business started by my grandfather in 1948. It's now run by my father. And hopefully I will take on those reins one day.
Tell us, what makes the perfect living room?
There's a lot of elements involved in creating a perfect living room. The first question I would ask you is, what is perfect? I don't think anything is perfect in this world. What I would start off by saying in the perfect living room is, let it be characteristic of you. It is your living room. So as much as you want to get involved with other interior designers, let it be your choice that reigns supreme. Consider lighting, consider fabric, consider trying to add as many different elements of materials as possible. For example, in this living room, we have a little bit of stone, a little bit of carpet everywhere. So that's something we're very characteristic and very proud about, so we use it as much as we can. But the perfect living room is a marriage of all the elements. And a place where you can show your character to your guests. Other things to consider when designing a living room are how many people are in the family. But not just how many people, also the ages of those people. An example, if you're younger, your back is a little bit more flexible. So you're able to sit on something a little softer and a little deeper. Remember that the older people in the family need something firmer, a little more upright, because getting in and out of a chair can be difficult for them. So consider the people in the family, make the correct choices on the furniture that can fit in the room and the size of that room.
What was your response to this particular project?
So this living room
Yes.
was designed by my mother. It is her house. It is the family house. And the idea was to have our classical furniture and try and put it in an environment which still looks modern. We're very proud about being Kenyan. So we wanted to have a little bit of elements of Africanness into it. Hence the choice of like carpet, hence the choice of colors on the furniture. So we tried using different elements of particular African designers, which we added into this room to kind of give it a little bit more character.
Okay. Speaking of character, what look were you going for?
I can't say it's classic. I can't say it's modern.
Okay.
It's a combination of stories, may I put it, that we've put together as a family. Like I said, we have our classical pieces, which all have very nice stories within them on their own. And each piece, so may it be a picture or an artifact, they all have their stories of where we've traveled to, who we've spoken to. Some of them have been passed down as gifts. So they all have their stories. And when we sit in this living room as a family and with friends, we like discussing these stories. They're good discussion points and good story points when you're entertaining.
Tell us about that particular piece right there.
The Valentino Chair is a very, very special piece. It's a very special piece to me as well. It was designed by a gentleman called Gary Culsey. Gary Culsey, the late Gary Culsey, was a designer at Panesar at the time. And he designed that chair for my mother for Valentine's Day.
Wow.
Hence the name Valentino.
Yeah.
And if you look at that chair, it has this little love heart in the center of it, which is characteristic of the day.
What is a must-have in any living room project?
Good lighting. I think good lighting is understated in this country. There's a lot of science behind lighting. And we do have professionals in this country who can give you that advice. It's not just about having a beautiful ceiling lamp or wall lamps. You need to have lighting at different heights. You need to have different color lights at different heights. It's all dependent on what colors you have inside your house, what sort of wood color you have inside your house, and what you want to showcase.
Okay.
So one thing I would recommend is get yourself some good lighting.
For these particular pieces, what fabrics were you using?
We've changed the fabrics a couple of times. Similar colors, but different sort of fabric textures. The plain fabric that's visible right now is called Magical Moments.
Okay.
We have a catalog in Panesar called Magical Moments. And it's a velvet feel, so it's a thick fabric. But the reason it's got magic in it is because it doesn't take up any stains.
Okay.
I could pour wine on that and remove it if I wanted to.
Interesting. As we conclude, any advice you'd like to give buyers of furniture or other industry players?
If you're going to invest in a house, you're investing for a lifetime. All right? You're investing for your generation or for your children. Invest in good furniture.